we used to get applications in the mail, or people were coming into the office to drop off packages, or we will pick them up on site. The problem was that when you receive a package, you don't get the time to go over every single page. Not only that, but you have to send this out for background check. So what happens is, if we receive a package from FedEx or via US mail, we will receive it, we'll look over it, and there were bits and pieces of information always missing. I mean, 80% of the time it was a lease addendum, maybe it was missing a contract, it was missing a signature, it was missing an ID, or maybe an ID that was not legible. So we will have to take the package, send it back to the person who was applying, or send it back to the realtor, wait for them to receive it. Now, if you have a holiday in between, they will actually delay the whole process, and then wait for them to send it back to us and hope that all the information that was missing was actually there. Once we receive that, we'll send it out for a background check, and then we will move forward. However, this process could take anywhere between 2 to 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, just cutting it short from that 30-day period, as the statutory language states that if you don't approve, or you don't have a response for an application that's complete, within 30 days is an automatic approval. So that's the deadline that realtors play with, that's the deadline that title companies play with, and that's the deadline that we are held accountable for. So not being able and working with that deadline so close, a lot of the times it was too close to comfort. So now with the electronic version of it, they receive the instructions, they fill out the application online at their own time, they could just save it, then go to work, come back in the afternoon, log on again, continue to fill it out, have the realtor send a PDF with the contract, have the owner send the PDF with the lease addendum if it was a lease, otherwise the signature on the contract if it was a purchase. Everything is done automatically, everything's done electronically, and the only thing you have to do is attach the files to the application, and then we get a full report in less than a week. So, I mean, it has helped me tremendously because of the fact that I don't have to worry about anything. I send out the instructions, and 5-6 days later, I get a full report. Nothing is missing, everything is accurate, everything is legible, and everything is just the way that the board needs it, the way that our client needs it, and personally and specifically the way that I need it in order for me to make a decision and be able to forward over to our client. It's amazing. Before, it was a constant worry. Make sure we got the correct information, make sure we had the required information, and not only that, but make sure that it was legible. A lot of it is you get 100 pages, and a lot of them are scans or copies, so sometimes they were blurry, sometimes they were not legible, and little mistakes like that will make my job harder because of the opportunity cost. I could be doing something better with that amount of time instead of calling the tenants, calling the buyers, calling the realtors to request this information. So if you are a person who has a lot on its hands, as any property manager does, the last thing that you want to worry is the application process, because it's time consuming. And the fact that tenant evaluation has made it so easy for us, it's a huge worry off my plate. I get an email saying the ABC tenant has applied for ABC unit, and 5 days later I get an email saying ABC tenant report is complete. I log on it, I pull it out, I print it out, I save it or send it to my clients, and they get access to the full report as it is sent out to me. On a better note, I could always give my client a call and say, listen, would you mind logging on the system? The application is ready. And because maybe they are out of town, they're in Orlando, they're in Europe, they're somewhere where they don't have access to a computer, so they just log on their smartphone and take a look at the report. They have an idea what they're looking at, so it's a lot easier. I mean, the format is phenomenal. And personally, I don't have to worry about it. So that definitely makes it a huge competitive advantage versus what we used to do before, versus maybe any other company that uses the old method of the paper. You have hard copies, tons of pages that you have to go over and make sure that every single page has what it needs and it has what it requires. And we don't have to worry about that now because tenant evaluation does it for us. When I get a report, I don't have to check signatures, I don't have to check IDs, I don't have to check if the contract is there. They go through the checklist, every single piece and bit of information is in there,